And that interest and that withholding of sex until its proper place, within, my opinion, in the balance of marriage, where there's this lifelong commitment between the two. But when the young lady doesn't practice that type of abstinence to wait for that, and she gives the young man what he wants, then he doesn't have to improve himself. He doesn't have to educate himself. He doesn't have to get a job to get what he wants.
Okay.
So I think they help assist in the immaturity of our young men.
So I hope women out there in our Relationships 360 audience that you are really listening to this. It's not just a man's problem, but women, we also have a responsibility in making sure that our dads, or that our men are being fathers to their children. So George, we appreciate you giving us some insight, some additional insight into this problem, and just kind of bringing out more that, like I said, it's not just our young men, but our ladies have a responsibility with this issue as well. I wanted to talk about, we talked about the effects or negative effects that absent fathers has on children. We started to talk about the emotional implications that it has for kids in terms of depression and aggression. Can you talk about, like, are there medical issues that are caused as well as a result of this problem?
You know what, I'm not familiar with any research related to the medical issues, but okay. Just from a practical standpoint, when you have two people looking after a child, I mean, you prevent things from happening. And so, accidents that can result in medical issues, and then also watching and caring for their health. And so I think from that aspect, I think you could see that that definitely is a factor.
Okay. I was disappointed to find some research that basically said that in the African American community, absent fathers, that phenomenon is higher than it is in other ethnic communities. What do you feel is the reason for that?
Okay, and those statistics are from the research is that about 66% of African Americans children are growing up in father-absent homes. Hispanic, it's about 35%, and in white, it's about 25%. Yeah, so there's this huge gap. We're not saying that there are more African American children that are growing up absent, just looking at the percentage within that community. And so the contributors, though, I think it's as diverse as it is complex. I can't say that there's one specific issue, but you can go back to this war on poverty and the unintended consequence that has impacted the black family. And in 1965, there was a report, then the social scientist Senator Patrick Moynihan, the case of the Negro family. He was trying to raise an alarm that there was a 25% father-absent rate, and it kind of got shot down as being racist. It was the right message, but he was the wrong messenger, and as a result, nothing was done. And so today, fast forward, now we're at 66%. But going back to what caused that, this war on poverty discouraged marriage, because the government became the surrogate father. Marry the husband. Marry the government and make sure you get a paycheck, as opposed to marry this guy who right now can't find a job. So stay single, and now marriage is the glue that holds parents to the children the most secure. And so when we didn't have that happen in the black families, it was easier for men to leave. And when it was discouraged, because you get more money and you can get Section 8 housing, and so the government undermined the black family unintendedly. I would say it was an unintentional consequence of trying to fight poverty. Then you have to look at slavery history and that impact. That's a whole another perspective.
As we've been discussing, women definitely can help in terms of reversing the trend, especially in the African American community. Our sisters can. Can you give our sisters that are in the audience some advice or just some practical things that they can do to kind of help to increase the number of African American fathers that are living with, raising and supporting their children?
Okay, that's a really good question, and I think that one thing that women can do, or sisters can do, is that if they break up with their baby's father, that they really still need to be thinking about the child and letting the father have access to the child and encouraging that access. But I think oftentimes, out of our own woundedness, when we get hurt, we're trying to protect our children. So I've seen this happen too often, is that the mothers won't let the fathers have access. And we've got to get the children out of the middle of that relationship and let the man be a father to his child. Yeah.
Okay. I want to take a break here from my questions, and actually I want to pose a couple of questions to you that were asked by fans of this show. Can a woman take a man's role as a father?
Okay, I'd put it this way. That's a good question. I mean, it's a question that people have been having to ask because a lot of times, in a lot of cases, fathers are absent. But I think maybe to kind of rephrase the question and to answer it this way, maybe the question being, can a woman teach a boy how to be a man? And I think she can, but I don't think she can bring him into manhood, because you can't bring somebody into something that you haven't arrived yourself. So, and I think what that question kind of brings out is that there is the mother's role and there is the father's role, and there is no substitute for either, unless there is a father figure. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's important that a mom not try to be both, that she gets somebody else to try to fulfill that role of a father, another male. I think that's important.
Okay. I have one special request, no more questions, but one request. You have a skit that you do, and it speaks to directly to men that may not be out there taking care of their children. So we'd love to allow you an opportunity to present that to our audience. And the name of this piece?
The name of the piece is Man-Jacked, and the ideal is that a lot of fathers are absent. They're sons, and they're not there to help them into transition into manhood. Okay. And I think the number one job of a father is to be a man builder.
Okay. Here we go. Man-Jacked with George Williams.
Man-Jacked. When I was a child, age 3, I was abandoned, then abducted by irresponsibility. Dad, he vanished in the smoke of crack. Mom, she lived a life under constant attack. Poverty, domestic violence with a boyfriend gone mad, yet doing the best with whatever she had. Man-Jacked. How was I prepared for this journey? A Y chromosome from a dad born a he, baby, boy, man, husband, dad, missing needs from a father I never had. Affirmation, preparation, a simple I love you. Tell me I'm a man and that you're proud of me too. Man-Jacked grows older but still immature, wearing masks to cover the pain I endured. Aggression, depression, ADHD. They drugged, misdiagnosed, institutionalized me. I was going to court but released on bail. Just another blackmail male. Man-Jacked, why are they trying to take me out? An endangered species with a future in doubt. They call me a menace to society while they hide behind their piety. It was wrong to be all about me. Yet how can a real man I be if a real man I didn't see? Man-Jacked, why is it so hard? How did I end up in this prison yard? I found my own way and it led to death. Money, sex, violence to my last breath. And in the end, everything out of control to the point I lost my soul.